This is how we get down. What's good, everybody? Welcome in to a Friday edition of Coach and Company right here on the Stadium Network. I tell you what, NFL preseason in full gear starting last night. 3 more games tonight. So that means football is officially back. Now, over the course of the next 60 minutes, you guys know what time it is. Josh Allen, a great dude, coming up in 45 minutes. We break down the NFC starting today with the NFC East, and then in a brand new segment in about 15 minutes called Front Page News, where we tackle the biggest topics in sports. Mainly, though, it's going to be very, very football heavy, as there are just topics literally coming out of our ears. But of course, right here, right now, we'll do our best bets. Now, we've got a ton of content coming out of BTT Studios, and I do need to say a big thank you to all of you, because we started the Coach and Bro Show, our other show here on Stadium, less than a year ago. And we had a special pod last night. We have 2 shows from this week that the views are amazing, that I encourage you to go to our BTT YouTube page and download it, scan, whatever you got to do. But engage with that content. And now Coach and Bro will be every single Thursday at 11 a.m. Eastern time, right after Coach and Company. So 2 full hours emanating from BTT Studios. Also, do not forget, every single day, 2 to 4 Eastern time on Sirius XM channel 156, Off the Ropes with the Coach. More pro wrestling. But today as well, I'll be hopping straight out of here because it's ESPN Bet on PGA Tour Live, day number 2, the first playoff event, the FedEx St. Jude Championship. Incredible day yesterday. 3 more hours of live betting today on ESPN Plus. How did we do yesterday? What did our picks look like? Well, I'll deal with him. Everybody had a good day except for my man DG. He will answer in a moment. Raphael, another sweep. Another sweep. So not a bad day. But we got to focus on today. We've got best bets. I've got more round 2s. We've got Footy Friday. We've got the JTS play of the day. So without further ado, even in my gorgeous suite out here on the road, right near PGA Tour headquarters, the company is ready to come in. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to beat the books. All right, look who we have today. An embarrassment of riches. I'm going to start with the man who went 2-0 yesterday and wasn't even on the show. My man from the dirty, Big Chuck. Good morning, sir.
Morning, Coachman Company. Just doing my part for the brand. This shout out to Raffy with another little humble sweep. So congratulations. Big weekend ahead. Ready to get it going.
The way you talk kills me. I absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. Now let's go to the man who went 0 for 2 and hear what he has to say about himself. Live from Memphis, Tennessee, right near the St. Jude. DG, what happened?
Good morning, Coach. Good morning, friends. Hello, my name is Daniel Greer, and I sucked yesterday.
Hey, at least you owned it. At least you owned it with a smile, because we know when we do this so much, you're going to have good days, bad days. That's why we're a team. Now, finally, I don't even know if this man is licking his wounds, but he has showed up today. He's such a vital part of what we do. But Soupy, good morning, sir.
Good morning. Yeah, it was a rough Tuesday, but you know what? You come back, you play again, and you get better. That's all we do. Football season is coming. This is the time when you get better.
It does feel like it's starting to get here, doesn't it, guys? Today is Friday, August 8th. We're less than a month away from the start of the NFL season. We got a full NFL. It really feels like we're getting there. I know, DG, you're going to be leading the charge this year for our college football content, not only here, but on weekday wagers daily at 2 p.m. So we're getting fired up and we're getting ready to go. But are you guys ready for a little best bets?
Oh, yeah.
Who wants the smoke?
Give it to me again. I'll take it.
I want to give it right back to you because I know you're going to come out of the corner like a rabid dog. So, DG, where are we headed today?
Yeah, we're going to go to baseball. We're going to go with Chamayuki Sugano at 3+ earned runs allowed. And no, this isn't a UFC fighter. This is a pitcher for the Baltimore Orioles. This is at -115. And if you look at this, 3+ earned runs allowed in 8 of the last 9 games. He's going up against the Athletics, who are actually trending up in the right direction. And he's also given up 9 home runs over that course of those 9 games. I expect him to get beat up again by the homeless Athletics. And so let's go ahead and get the 3+ earned runs by Sugano. Then let's go to the late night game with Clayton Kershaw. 2+ walks at plus 115. Everybody loves walks on a Friday, but Toronto has feasted all over left-handed pitching. They've actually forced 2+ walks in 8 of the last 10 against left-handed pitching. I expect this to happen again. Clayton Kershaw, 2 free passes around today.
When football starts and there's futures and all these different bets that the books are looking at, DG, do you feel like that you can find some real value in baseball because the books are kind of looking this way and they're going, well, we still got to put these lines out for baseball anyway?
Yeah, they're not going to move as quickly. So if you like a number, like it won't move away from you as quickly, because right now when I'm finding, an edge or so, I'm like, all right, I had to hit it now before it actually will move. And so we're going to see that kind of lessen a little bit more when football gets here.
Yeah, I agree with you. We're going to have we're going to need another hour of coaching company with all the different best bets we're going to have in all of the sports starting. NHL will start in October. Man, I'm fired up. This is the time of year I really get fired up. So now, Soupy, I'm trying to lift you up. I'm trying to give you a vibe this morning. You're up next. Best bets, go.
I'm feeling good. I'm taking the Reds. They had a little bit of a misstep yesterday. They got schemed, but I think they rebound today. Chase Burns, don't look at the 6.04 ERA. Look at the 3.92 expected ERA, the 2.90 fielding independent, and the 36% strikeout rate. I will take that against a Pirates team that is 28th in strikeout rate. I think he rebounds, and I think the Reds rebound tonight. Blue Jays, Dodgers over 9. Let's look at this. In 2008, Greg Maddux and Randy Johnson were supposed to go against each other. Both had close to 300 wins. They both got scratched. You know what that pitching matchup was? A young Clayton Kershaw versus a young Max Scherzer who had combined 3 career wins. Well, they're going again tonight, 2 now potential Hall of Famers. But I don't think it's going to go that way because Scherzer has a 4.50 ERA on the road against the Dodgers, who score the most runs per game at home. And Clayton Kershaw, lowest strikeout rate of his career, second lowest whiff rate of his career. And the Blue Jays, they lead the league in whiff rate. I think we're going to see a lot of hitting and a lot of runs take the over 9.
I absolutely love it. Soupy, thank you very much. All right. Now, I'm going to go next. Now, you guys did not see my name on the recap screen. So, well, coach, you gave out 3 plays yesterday. Well, yeah, but they're not over until Sunday. And admittedly, Victor Hovland, can you wake the hell up, please, after your first round? What are you doing? But except Strachan, my tournament matchup, still sitting pretty. Only one back at Colin Morikawa. And Morikawa played great yesterday and only beat my guy by 1 on Thursday. But I got 4 days to whip that ass. So today we're going to go 2 round 2 plays. Now, the one thing you need to look at when you're talking about golf that normally that a really high level player, if they play poorly on one day, they'll usually come back and you get a much better price in a matchup the next day. Today, Justin Thomas, he's playing with Russell Henley, and they basically shot the same score yesterday. But Justin Thomas played great. He only had 1 misstep on the very difficult par 3 14th, which is one of our featured holes on ESPN Bet on PGA Tour Live. Check us out on ESPN Plus. But I think JT is really fired up. I really think he wants to play well. He's under par. So I'm going to take him at minus 122 over your API champion, Russell Henley. Then play number 2, your leader. Now, again, normally I would go the opposite. Akshay, an 8 under 62, flawless over Matthew Fitzpatrick minus 113, who also shot under par. He was 3 under through 3 holes on Thursday and played even par the rest of the way. He's been really good. His last 4 events, all top 10s. But Akshay has a bone to pick with a lot of us who don't consider him a top shelf player. So I think Akshay comes back today and plays good 2 days in a row in that sweltering heat down there in Memphis, Tennessee. Hot, isn't it, DG? It was 90 degrees when we went on the air yesterday.
Yeah, it's supposed to be 2 degrees hotter tomorrow. Like that heat is just sitting on you, boy. It was bad.
Yeah, the players told us it was like an oven. It felt like an oven. All right, DG, well done. Soupy, well done, coach. We'll see if I'm well done. Now, We also know when we head into the weekend every single week, and I believe, Chuck, 3 weeks in a row, 4 weeks in a row, we've had a profit?
Well, 5 weeks non-losing, and we had a push on one of those. So, yeah, 4 out of the 5 profit.
I'll take 5. 5 non-losing weeks. So, ladies and gentlemen, I've got mine right here. Grab your paper. Grab your pencil. It's time for a little Footy Friday. No games today. We've got 4 on Saturday. So let's start with the first 2, Big Chuck. New England and Sporting KC. Where are we headed there?
We actually have a big card of MLS action this weekend because next weekend we kick off with the EPL. But for now, we'll focus on the MLS, starting with New England, DC United. The total has went over in 7 of their last 10 meetings. I expect pretty much of the same between these two. Play number 1, the over 2.75 full time, as I could see 4 or more total goals. Then Sporting KC, they welcome San Diego to town. San Diego, they come in playing their 4th match in less than 2 weeks. So I'm expecting a little bit of fatigue and KC to take advantage of that. Sporting KC, first half team total over half a goal, as San Diego has allowed 8 first half goals in their last 11 matches in all competitions.
The team in the MLS right now, I'll be honest with you. Such a new expansion team. All right, let's go to San Jose and Vancouver. What do we have there?
The nightcap, San Jose, Vancouver, I'm expecting a shootout. I got a doubler in this one. First half over 1.5 goals, and I'm going to add the both teams to score in the first half. As San Jose, they have allowed 9 first half goals in their last 10 matches, while Vancouver, they're conceding an average of 1 first half goal over their last 8 matches.
Sunday, and we go to O-Town. What do we got there?
Battle of Florida. Inter Miami, Orlando City, and with Messi still nursing an injury, I like this Orlando City team on the money line at home. Go ahead and give me that, as they have failed to lose in 5 straight.
I've been telling you guys all the time, he does all the different sports, not just soccer. Scan that QR code, be a part of the side hustle over there in the dirty, and you'll be thanking me and Chuck later. Now, speaking of partnerships, we love ourselves a little JTS. There's my man, Marky Model. I'm shocked that you were able to get up early this morning, because I saw all over social media, you're out, you had a gig last night, you're taking pictures, you're signing autographs. Like, Mark, oh my God, the groupies are everywhere. It was crazy. Then you got to get up, get the hair done, feeling nice, smelling nice. JTS play of the day. What do we got?
Coach, it feels good to be part of a team and to have a team. So, yeah, let's get started with the Washington Mystics. Kiki Irfan to go over 15 points and rebounds tonight. Kiki sailed past this line in 10 of her last 10 games. She's cashed in 4 of her last 5 road games as well. We're going to go to the Diamond, and we're going to back Pittsburgh's Tommy Pham to get at least 1 hit. Pham just keeps producing. He's gotten at least 1 hit in 18 of his last 20 games. These aren't just hot streaks. Both matchups align perfectly with current form and roles. Put them both together for a plus 105. Just Stat Sports play of the day.
Absolutely love it. The traffic has been amazing. Now we need you guys to actually start playing with us. This is the time. You've gone, you've looked, you've done your homework. Now let's scan that QR code. Let's sign up. Let's use our code BTT30. We're going to give you 30 days for free. And after that, we're going to be well into the NFL season. By the way, guys, this is why I hate preseason. This is why I hate, now that we're down to 3, you guys, 23-20. I went to bed last night, and the Raiders and the Seahawks were still on. What are we doing? A tie in pro sports when there's betting involved? What are we doing? But is what the over came in, so that's good. That's good. All right, gentlemen, well done. A lot of great best bets today. All right, still to come. Just getting started on the other side. Brand new segment, Front Page News. And there's a lot of news today coming out of the NFL and elsewhere. Then at the bottom of the hour, we start our NFC previews. What about the NFC East? Could we have 3 playoff teams this year? We'll find out. And then finally, Josh Allen proving once again that he's just a really good dude. We're just getting started. It's a Friday. It's Coaching Company right here, as always, on Stadia. What's good, everybody? Welcome back to Coach and Company here on Stadium on a beautiful Friday. Tons of sports, soccer, football, golf, playoff golf. So we need you to follow all of us, subscribe to both of our YouTube channels. This is the only place that you need to be. Now, we're starting a brand new segment today called Front Page News because we want to tackle every single day or as many days as we need to a lot of the different topics that come up that could end up affecting the betting scene, whether it's in football. It doesn't matter, but it'll be a majority football. So, DG, Soupy, I need to see you guys. Because last night we saw 3 games. We'll get into the Bengals here in a second. But tonight, there are 3 more games on tap. The Lions playing their second game. They lost badly in the Hall of Fame game. They're playing at Atlanta. Then you got the Panthers hosting the Browns, the Commanders at the Patriots. And, of course, the biggest topic tonight is Shadir Sanders. And will he start? How will he play? So, DG, I'll start with you. Which one of these 3 games are you most looking forward to tonight?
It has to be Shador Sanders and the Browns. Like we've seen the lines move so much once they announced that Shador Sanders was going to be the starter. But there are other quarterbacks that they have on the depth chart aren't going to be available. I'm curious in who else they bring up behind him just in general. But this is a sink or swim moment. And I'm curious, was this on purpose? Because the owners come out and said that he really didn't want to go after Shador in the draft. Now everybody is magically not available. Shador has not had first team reps all week, and now he's the starter for their first preseason game. I'm curious how much of this is on purpose and if we see Shador Sanders really swim tonight and take off.
It really is Shadir Sanders. It's simple as that. That is what we're going to look for because he has been the most notable player throughout the draft process and even in training camp. From what I'm hearing, it's just going to be Shadir and Tyler Huntley. Shadir should probably take all of those first half snaps. And this is actually a good opportunity because you're going to get a lot of series. He should probably get about 5 to 6 series in that first half. So you're going to get a good look at him to see what he can do. He'll probably see the first unit defense maybe once or twice and see more of the second unit defense. But this is going to be the true test to see if he is ready for this time. And then they'll do it again with Dylan Gabriel and Joe Flacco and maybe even Kenny Pickett. But this is the test for Sanders.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that one as well, but I'm also looking forward to the Commanders and the Patriots. Let's remember, New England's got a new head coach. They've got a quarterback that a lot of critics like out there in Drake May. They've added a lot of new players that could help that offense. And I think that New England has said, you know what, we're tired of the BS. We're tired of you can't win without Bill Belichick, who's now in college, and Tom Brady, who's now retired. Then the Commanders, they are a playoff team. And we're going to talk more about them coming up in about 10 minutes. But all of a sudden, there is discourse. They're not getting along. Terry McLaurin wants out. So I'm going to see who they roll out tonight and how seriously the Commanders take this football game with New England. Topic number 2. Speaking of taking things seriously, last night the Cincinnati Bengals came out and said, you know what? We're setting a tone. We're setting a standard. Joe Burrow, he starts. Jamar Chase, he starts. Burrow throws for over 120 yards, 2 touchdowns. Jamar Chase, 77 yards receiving, 4 catches, and a touch. DG, how impressed were you that the Bengals took this one so serious?
If I'm the coach, all right, boys, I've seen enough at this point. Like you show up and look that good out of training camp and in your first preseason game. I know everybody is fantasy football driven, and you're looking at a guy in Jamar Chase who is going to be the number 1 overall selection in most people's drafts because he is that good. The dude looked explosive last night, stopping on a dime. If you have that guy as a wide receiver, Joe Burrow has to be just loving it. He's loved it all through college. He's now loving it in the pros. And so I love that these guys came out locked and loaded first game in the season.
Jamar Chase and Joe Burrow, they are the best quarterback wide receiver combination in the NFL. There is no doubt because they do go back to college when they were at LSU together when they won that national championship. Cincinnati does not make a lot of good decisions, but this was the right one pairing these two together. And they had a underwhelming season last year and in a tough division. They need to show that they are back and they are ready to compete. So I liked that they were so aggressive and pinning these two together in the first preseason game. And I think they're going to look good throughout the season because they need to, because that defense is still terrible.
Yeah, I think that there was twofold here. I think they wanted to take a little bit of the attention away from the fact that Trey Hendrickson still doesn't have his new contract and say, hey, Cincinnati is going out front. I also think they realize how difficult this division is going to be. With the Browns going to be a little bit better, I think. I think Pittsburgh with Aaron Rodgers, who looked like he was playing in mud yesterday at practice. But then, of course, the class of the division, the Ravens. So the Bengals needed to set a tone, and I believe that they did that. Gentlemen, 2 minutes a segment. Let's speed it up just a little bit. Very wordy this morning. Very wordy. Let that resonate for a second. Oh, don't shake your head at me, DG. Don't shake your head at me. Topic number 3. There's a lot of shaking of the heads going on out in L.A. in Charger land. This is not a good story. This man just became the NFL highest paid lineman ever. 4 years, $113 million. And you never want players to go down. I don't care if there is one of my team's biggest rivals. This is awful. Rashawn Slater, a torn patella tendon, out for the year, and it happened at practice, basically a non-contact injury. DG, this is devastating for this football team.
It's devastating for Slater for the fact that he is a lineman, and this could be a career-ending injury. And I know that's not what people want to wake up to and hear from us on a Friday, but it could be. And that's the sad part of this, is a guy that is just getting paid and entering into his prime is really going to have to take a look in the mirror and say, is this my career? And so we'll see, but it's definitely a sad day.
Lineman, and he's really good at the run blocking. And now you've got a rookie running back in Omarion Hampton. How is that going to affect him when maybe necessarily your run blocking sort of diminishes a little bit? But that's the thing. This is what this team's trying to do. They're trying to be a run-centric team. So I'll be interesting to see how the run blocking affects now without Slater in the lineup.
Everybody's talking about, guys, that this is a potential playoff team. When you lose this great of a player, a Pro Bowler, when you want to start controlling the clock and controlling the game and not putting so much on the arm of your all-pro quarterback, or at least all-pro talent, this is devastating. It absolutely is, and I feel bad for him. And DG, you're right. This could be career ending, which is way worse than just season ending. All right, topic number 4, Anthony Richardson. There's some players in the NFL that no matter what they do, they never get out of the starting blocks. And this quarterback is one of them. He had a nasty, and if you watched this game last night, nasty finger injury. His finger was going one way, his hand was going the other way. And then he goes out, and Daniel Jones played pretty well, 144 yards passing. DG, does this open things up for now this to be Daniel Jones's team?
100%. Daniel Jones will be taking the week 1 snaps because this is a 4 to 6 week injury for Anthony Richardson. I've had it happen to me, and I know, Coach, you're very much into basketball as well, and so that's happened to both of my pinkies on each hand. And so that's what I'm looking at with this is it's his throwing hand, which is important, but also 4 to 6 weeks. It honestly allows Daniel Jones to get the week 1 snaps, and it will be his job to lose going forward.
DG, there's a difference between hurting your finger in an NFL game and church league games. But this is huge because they were both listed at quarterback 1 on the depth chart. And now we have that definitive. It's going to be Danny Dimes, the return of Danny Dimes. Anthony Richardson last year was the only quarterback to have a under 50% completion amongst qualified quarterbacks. I think he came out of the into the draft too early. I think he needed another year in Florida. The accuracy is off. He's a great mobile quarterback, but I ultimately thought Daniel Jones was going to be the starter, and I think now it just makes the competition a little easier.
Just as there are players that get hurt a lot and are very injury prone, there's also players that just luck into a lot of things. I mean, Daniel Jones was probably the most overpaid quarterback in NFL history at $40 million per. So it doesn't really matter what he makes with the Colts. He got his bag, his one big contract. But now I know he's a pro. He wants to go out there and prove that he belongs in the NFL. And if you become a starter week 1, there's nobody that can say anything to him about you didn't get a chance multiple times in multiple cities. Topic number 5, the final topic. And this one just keeps on getting worse. Micah Parsons now is going out there. He's requested a trade. Now you can actually bet on the teams that he could get traded to. Now, DG, he misses practice with back stiffness, which is the same injury he had back in June. And now Jerry Jones is jumping all over it saying, yeah, This is why we haven't done the deal. We can't pay somebody that kind of money when he can't stay in practice day in, day out in training camp. So let me ask you, is Jerry Jones using this as an excuse or is it valid?
What are we doing? Like, this is getting so ridiculous. And yes, I am a Cowboys fan and it pisses me off. But my simple fact is, what is Jerry Jones doing? At some point, you have to understand that this is a team and I have to do the right thing by my players. You can't always be thinking about this contract. I know that Micah Parsons had some back issues, but I also know that really you can't say, hey, I can pinpoint this as a back injury because if I'm feeling bad today, I'm just going to say my back hurts. Okay. That's what I do. That's what I do at my normal job. And so, yes, I will say that he's picking him apart and I don't like it.
This has been a mess. Just pay Parsons. He is the best pass rusher in the league. The guy is so dynamic, and you don't have a lot of good players on that defense. I think that secondary is going to struggle. That pass rush last year is what made your defense somewhat respectable, and that was because you had Micah Parsons, who just knows how to get to the quarterback. Just pay the man. Stop trying to give excuses and just keep him on the team, or else you're screwed.
I thought about this and I said, what if they put escalators? What if they put incentives saying if you play X amount of games, then you're going to make this, this, and this. And then as I was thinking about that, I was like, is Jerry Jones diabolical enough that if they're out of the playoff race in week 12 or week 13, that they would just bench his ass and then those escalators wouldn't come into play? This guy has earned the big time contract. He has earned the big time money. But guys, if he gets traded to, say, the Steelers, it's going to be very, very fascinating to see how that plays out because the Steelers historically, they'll pay guys. They just don't really want to. They're not the Bengals, but you already got a guy in TJ Watt who became the highest paid, I guess, AFC, whatever. And he's going to be playing on the same team if they get Parsons. So it's going to be fascinating to see how that plays out. Well done on our very first front page news. All right, still to come on the other side, Chuck rejoins the show, and we're talking about the NFC East. Are there potentially 3 playoff teams this year coming out of that division? We're only halfway home. It's a glorious Friday. This is Coach and Company right here, as always, on Stadium. What's good, everybody? Welcome back. We are halfway home. If you're watching us live in the East, it's 10:32, in the West, 7:32. And also, you can catch us on demand throughout the day at our Coach and Company YouTube page. By the way, if you have not subscribed there yet, I encourage you to do so. We're about 100 and some odd away from being able to do all of the premium content to add to what we're already doing. So please help us out. Let us get there before the start of the football season. But as always, we like to do a little bit of everything, and we love ourselves a little Prize Picks. They're available in a lot of different states, and they make it very, very simple. And my man, Soupy, he works for Prize Picks. So today, give me a couple or maybe even 3 that people can sink their teeth into on this Friday.
I'm going to start on the diamond. Bo Bichette. Him and the Blue Jays are hot right now on the offensive side. Bichette hitting 464 with 11 RBIs in his last 5. He's going against Clayton Kershaw. Very small history, but he's 2 for 3. And both those hits, they're home runs. So I'll take him to get 2.5 hits, runs, and RBIs. And then Chase Burns, the number 1 prospect of the Reds. He's a hurler. He can hit triple digits. Very nasty slider. And I think he's going to get that 7.5 strikeouts because over his last 3 full starts, he has 10 strikeouts going against the Pirates, who are 28th in strikeout rate. And football is back, so I got to get a football prop in. Shadur Sanders, I think he's going to play that whole first half of that game against Carolina. He's going to face some of the first unit defense, but I think he's going to face a lot of the second unit defense, and I think he could throw a touchdown. He's got to be impressive in this first start because I think it'll be important for him.
I think this could be the highest rated preseason game of the entire season tonight. I really believe that down there in Carolina. By the way, I'm going to be in Charlotte Sunday night after the golf event that I'm doing. PFL next Friday night in Charlotte. If you're going to be there, come join us. By the way, the Cincinnati Reds 3.5 games out of a wild card spot, so every game right now matters for them. All right, we've done the last 4 days breaking down the AFC divisions. Now we move over today to the NFC. And, of course, we're going to start with the division that houses the most popular and expensive team and also the reigning, defending, undisputed Super Bowl champions, the NFC East. It's time to bet the futures. We know how important scheduling is. We know how important numbers are. There are the current odds for the division. The Eagles, the only team minus money, minus 145. The Commanders, a playoff team, plus 220. The Cowboys, always a popular play. Not a bad number, plus 600. We'll see how healthy Dak is going to be. And then the Giants, last year, ouch, 3-14. They're plus 2,800 to win this division. So, DG, let me start with you, because the Eagles are obviously playing a first place schedule, and they are playing 10, count it, 10 playoff teams this year from a year ago. Now, they have almost their entire roster back, but that's a really hard road to hoe. Is that too many playoff teams for them to win this division?
I don't think it's too many playoff teams just in general, because you look at this team, they kind of know their identity. They know who they are. But my biggest question around them is, can Jalen Hurts really develop into a really good player moving? Like, he has to be a quarterback that can win you games, and you can't rely on the offensive line and Saquon Barkley to kind of keep moving the line of scrimmage. And so, will teams target them a little differently this year? I think so. I think it's going to be tough for them to repeat, because they haven't had a repeated champion since, I think it was 2007.
Yeah, it's a really, really hard thing to do because of how the NFL does the schedule. I really like it. They make it hard. It almost really shines the light on how great Tom Brady and the Patriots were. I mean, even the Chiefs have struggled to repeat, even though they've gone to the Super Bowl so many times. Chuck, let me come over to you, because the Eagles, not only are they playing a lot of playoff teams, but when you're the defending Super Bowl champions, you play a lot of primetime games, Thursdays, Mondays, Sunday nights. You can be kind of all over the place. And so if they go back and do it again this year in this division, they will have earned it.
Hats off to them. And it's actually 2004 since there's been a repeat champion in the NFC East, and that was the Eagles, who won it last season. That's why I'm leaning towards the Commanders. But yeah, definitely if they come out and win this division, hats off to them, because they start out just the first 5 games: Cowboys, Chiefs, Rams, Bucks, Broncos, and then they still have the Lions, Packers, Bills, Commanders twice, the revised Bears on their schedule. It's going to be a brutal gauntlet for the Eagles.
They're going to be the featured game, even if they play in a normal window, guys, on Sundays at 1 or 4:25. They're going to be the featured game because of all the games that Chuck just alluded to. Soupy, let me come over to you, because when you look at the Cowboys, who last year were 7-10, a big reason for that is because Dak Prescott got hurt early. He got his bag. He's at $60 million a year. But it almost feels like when you watch the Cowboys, you're waiting for the other shoe to drop. And that other shoe could be getting rid of Michael Parsons. What are your thoughts about the Cowboys fitting into this division this year?
I do think that if there's going to be someone to compete against the Eagles, I think it's the Cowboys. I think this is a regressive year for the Commanders. They're going to have a tougher schedule. They got off on an easy schedule last year, so I think they'll regress a little bit. Dak Prescott needs to stay. He needs to be healthy, and he needs to be at his best, because I don't know who's going to be the starting running back for this team. It's just a bunch of guys. Same thing with the offensive line is better, so I think that will help. They got George Pickens. I think that was a great pickup for them. That's going to be their whiteout to complement CeeDee Lamb, who's normally a slot receiver. They need Micah Parsons because they need a pass rush. That is the best part of their defense. That secondary is a little shaky, so that's what needs. Those pieces need to stay in order for them to compete in this division.
I'm so glad you brought up George Pickens, because he's an all-pro talent. He just plays like a very immature high school kid, and he can't keep his emotions in check. And that's why ultimately the Steelers said, hey, we got to send you out of town. But DG, look at this graphic right here. Sometimes we forget when quarterbacks move around who they actually play for. Russell Wilson is a Super Bowl winning quarterback. Russell Wilson is a former All-Pro. Yeah, he's gotten along a little bit, but at least they have some leadership now, which they did not have with Daniel Jones at quarterback.
Yeah, but you're also going to get, with that leadership, you also get a ceiling. And Russell Wilson, as we saw in Pittsburgh last year, he's a fine quarterback. He's just, as the kids say, mid. But you look behind him, Jameis Winston, I think he gives them the best or the higher ceiling to really be a good team. And then they really have their rookie quarterback in Jackson Dart, who I think eventually, once the season gets out of play, I think that they're going to have him take over. They could play 3 different starters this season just in New York.
You got the 3 OGs. Chuck, I'm coming over to you. Yeah, quarterback that you see here. But Jaden Daniels, now we're going to see about the sophomore season. He made a lot of news in the offseason, but none of it for football. It was about his mama hanging out with him at basketball games. It was about dating the star basketball player from USC. Are they? Aren't they? Are they? Aren't they? But now he's going to be challenged because Terry McLaren, his safety blanket, he wants out of Dodge. They don't want to pay him what he believes. He believes that he should get JJ money, that he should get Jamar Chase money, and they don't want to pay him that. So how does Jaden Daniels, Chuck, handle the pressure now of being the man and people knowing how good he is when they come into the season?
Good question, but we know my man Jaden Daniels has had the spotlight on him being at the good old LSU, so he's used to that. Hopefully, everything comes together. Hopefully, Scary Terry gets paid. They get everything lined out because I definitely like this Commanders team. They have them at 9.5 wins. I think they can get to 10 easily in this one just based on its schedule. Hopefully a couple more weeks, everything smooths out. Jaden Daniels, I'm hoping we do not see a sophomore slump because I have big hopes for this Commanders team. Plus, especially at plus 220 to win the division, you have to take a little stab at that.
I know as our resident LSU fan, you want the best for him and for anybody that ever played there, including Jamar Chase. So let's look at how you guys think this is going to play out. 1 through 4. Soupy, let's start with you. Who wins it, and what does the standings look like when we go to ESPN.com coming up in January?
I got to take the Eagles. They're still the best team. I think they're the most complete team. Even though they lost a lot of guys on defense, I still think they're the best. I think it's going to be Dallas in second, Washington in third, and unfortunately, my Giants dead last again.
How many wins do your Giants get?
I think they're better than they are last year. I think they can 6, maybe 7 wins. I don't think they'll be as bad as last year because of the quarterback, but I still think they're on the 500 team.
All right, very good. DG, give me your list.
I'm going to go on a limb here. I'm going with the Cowboys, and they're going to start off with 12 wins to lead and win the division. And then it's the Washington Commanders in second. Put the Eagles, they take a big step back this year all the way to third. And then, yes, we're probably all in agreement here with the Giants pulling up the rear.
Big Chuck, what about you, big boy?
I'm going to do a slight tweak. I'm going to go Commanders to lead the way, then the Cowboys, Eagles third, and the Giants. They're projected to win. I get 5 wins. It's up in there. We'll still see that. But, yeah, I like the Commanders with the Cowboys coming in second.
All right, I'm looking at this right now, and sometimes I forget that Debo is playing in Washington. And if he's healthy, man, how does Terry McLaren want to get out of town? This could be a really dynamic offense because he makes all the difference in the world. But guess what, guys? The Eagles still have A.J. Brown. They still have Devontae Smith. And they still have, damn it, I'm going to say it, the tush push. We couldn't get that out of the league. So I'm going to go Eagles. I do believe the Cowboys will be much better than their 7-10 record, but I think all the drama's got to get out the window, got to get out the way, because right now that's all we're talking about. We're not talking about how does Dak look in practice. Is he healthy? We're talking about Micah. What about CeeDee Lamb? Last year, remember, he wanted his bag. He got it, what was it, DG? 5 hours before the first game? Something
Not
like
much.
that?
Yeah,
Not much. It was embarrassing. So, DG, I'll let you bring it home because you're my resident Dallas Cowboys fan. Could this be the year, after 28 years of brutality, could we see something special?
Coach, you can't get me to go there because I am a fan, but I've been burned ever since I was a kid and I fell in love with that blue star. I've been burned every year. And so, no, Coach, it is not their year. I think they are much better than last year, but there's no way. I don't believe in this team just yet. I wish they would prove me wrong.
28 years, but yet their value continues to go up. It's one of the most mind-boggling things in all of sports. It truly, truly is. They're going to be worth $15 billion. If the Lakers are worth 11, Cowboys easily 15 or 16 if Jerry Jones ever wanted to sell them, which we know he will die the Cowboys owner without another Super Bowl championship. Gentlemen, well done today on the NFC East. Coming up on the other side, Josh Allen. He continues to prove not only is he an all-pro quarterback, he's an all-pro human being. Coach and company, as always, on a Friday here on Stadium. Welcome back, everybody. Coach and Company here on Stadium. We're almost done for the week, but we're just getting revved up for the season. Don't forget, coming up on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday of next year, we'll tackle the other 3 NFC divisions. But we've already talked a lot this season already about Josh Allen, about the Buffalo Bills. Can they be the best team in the AFC and finally make it to the Super Bowl? Well, the one thing you will never say about Josh Allen, that he's not a really good dude. Check out this video of his interaction and notice what he gives out yesterday at practice with Buffalo.
Oh, no worries. Hey, I got a question for you. I've got 2 tickets to the Ryder Cup, and they're yours if you want. You down for that? Yeah. All right. Let's go. We got to root Team USA on though, all right? No, we got to make sure we got to root for USA though, all right? Yes.
Is it you?
Huh?
Is it you?
It's the Bills. Yeah. They're yours if you guys want them. We'll make sure all right?
Yeah.
Awesome.
This is what I love about small market teams, because you don't have tens of thousands of people out at practice. DG, that is one of the coolest things I've ever seen. Josh Allen routinely does things like this. It's just not broadcast on national media. How cool is it? And Josh Allen continues to prove he's just a really good guy.
Josh Allen has kind of taken over the NFL as a whole, and just with his play on the field. And now he's doing these things off the field and showing the true human he is. When I met my wife, she was a preschool special ed teacher. So that hits home for me very much so. And so I love that. And I love that how he's touching his community.
Soupy.
When you're looking for a quarterback, you're not only looking for a talented player, but you're looking for someone who to be a leader, someone who you can put in front of your franchise. And that's what Josh Allen is. He's that guy that just you can put and represent your franchise, and things like that are the reason.
And it's things like that, Chuck, that make you want him to get at least one Super Bowl, because as many great things as he does off the field, there's those petty fans out there go, yeah, he did all that stuff, but yet he never won the big one. I don't give a shit. I love Josh Allen and all the stuff he's done. He works with, they have a children's hospital there in Buffalo. They make the shoes and he wears them in the game. This guy, I can't say enough good things about him.
Yeah, definitely gives him a couple extra notches for the root for him factor. And that's another thing that you were saying. Probably it's so much stuff he does behind the camera that he doesn't allow the public to see. Probably didn't even want people to see that. It was probably kind of forced upon him, shall I say, just to give a scope of his kindness. But yeah, I'm sure he does a lot with the community. I'll definitely be rooting for him to get one here in the near future.
By the way, did you guys see the video last year when he won the MVP and they went to the hospital and they had all the kids that he's hung out with, including the 2 kids that made the shoes last year that he wore in a game? And it was like, and he watched it in a side room. You guys saw that? He watched it in a side room on a phone and started crying at the ceremony. DG, it was incredible.
Yeah, that was incredible. I remember seeing that and getting a little choked up on it. Like, it was a real dude being a real human. And I know we're seeing it right now with the FedEx St. Jude Classic, where a lot of these kids, they design, what the caddies are wearing. Like, they design them there in St. Jude. And so I know that hits home for me so much, because it's literally in my backyard where all this is happening. And I love everything about this and any story close to this.
Fantastic. I'll let you bring that home right there. We'll end with DG. All right, you guys know we coming off a really good day yesterday, except for DG and maybe myself too. But today is a bounce back day. We all have our best bets, so we got to get into it. It's time to lock it in. All right, 10 seconds or less. Just 1 or 2 nuggets is all I need. Soupy, start us off. What do we got?
Reds got blanked by the Pirates last night, but I think they rebound today. Chase Burns, 10 strikeouts in 3 straight starts. I think he can do it again against a struggling Pirates offense. Blue Jays, Dodgers, over 9. Max Scherzer, 4.50 ERA on the road. Kershaw, worst strikeout rate of his career against a Blue Jays team that makes contact and hits the ball hard. I'll take the over 9.
Very good. DG, you're up.
Let's start with Tomoyuki Sugano at 3+ earned runs allowed. This is at -115. He's going up against the homeless Athletics, but he's allowing 3+ earned runs in 8 of his last 9 starts. Let's go ahead and get him again. And then we're going to go to the late night game in Clayton Kershaw. We're going to have him give up 2+ walks. It's at plus money at +115. Toronto takes advantage of left-handed pitching. They have forced 2+ walks against the opposing starter in 8 of the last 10 games.
And I have 2 round 2 plays at the St. Jude. Play is already kicked off. Now, there are 35 tee times, all twosomes, and they're all teeing off from the first hole, which makes it a lot longer. So we've got tee times into the afternoon, but pay attention, get them in, and don't go in at 3 o'clock. Go, coach, where are they at? Because they're teeing off between, I think, noon and 1 today. So Justin Thomas playing with Russell Henley. They basically shot the same score on Thursday, -122. I love JT. He is fired up, and he has won on this golf course before in his career. Then Akshay, he's your first round leader at -8, shot a scintillating 62 on Thursday. I think he backs it up today. Matthew Fitzpatrick, he shot a 3 under on Thursday. He was 3 under after 3 holes and then shot even par. I think Akshay at -113, I'll take it because he played really good last week, and he is following that up really well this week. All right, if I can get that out. Big Chuck, give me your 5 plays. Go.
MLS action this weekend, starting with New England, DC United. The over 2.75 full-time goals as this is cashed in 7 of their last 10. Then Sporting KC, they welcome San Diego to town, who will be playing their 4th match in less than 2 weeks, and I like KC to take advantage. Sporting KC, first half team total over half a goal. The Saturday night MLS nightcap, San Jose, Vancouver, I have a doubler in that one. First half, over 1.5 goals, and the both teams to score in the first half, as San Jose have allowed a first half goal in 9 of 10, and Vancouver are conceding an average of 1 first half goal over their last 8 matches. And then we rounded out on Sunday, a battle of Florida, Orlando City, Inter Miami, and when Messi's still nursing the injury, I like Orlando City on the money line at home as they have failed to lose in their last 5.
And we are just days away from the really big leagues that are on Paramount Plus. They're on NBC Sports app. And so Big Chuck has it all at his side hustle. Scan that QR code for the store, and you'll be thanking me later because we're getting ready to get ramped up around the world. Now, we also have a partnership, and it's a great tool that I use in my toolbox every single day. And I can't wait for the NFL model. Marky Model, what's our JTS play of the day?
Coach, we're taking the Washington Mystics forward. Kiki Irfin to get over 15 points and rebounds tonight. She has sailed past this line in 10 of her last 10 games and in 4 of the last 5 road games where she's averaging almost 18 combined over that stretch. And then we're going to pair that with Pittsburgh's Tommy Pham to get at least 1 hit. He just keeps producing. He's gotten a hit in 18 of his last 20 games, including 9 of his last 10 at home. Put them both together for a plus 105, just a Stat Sports play of the day.
Love that plus money play. Scan that QR code. Use our code BTT30, and we will give you 30 days for free. So many of you have been trying out JTS, and this is the time of year to do it. Quickly, DG, what can we expect from weekend wagers today?
Yeah, weekday wagers, we have some fun today. It might just be me and the guy, Marky Model, today. We're going to be battling out a little split decision. Me and him, we're going to let the chat decide who wins.
I love split decision. And by the way, if you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel, you get 2 shows right now. Do it today. We're only about 100 away from what we need to add the premium content that I want to for the football season. Gentlemen, well done today. Thank you all very, very much. Producer man, you know what time it is. It's time for all of you to go out into the world, for you to pay it forward. Be nice to one another. Be honest with each other and your audience. If you know, you know. And it's time for you to understand this. There's only one thing left to do. And I believe you all know what that is. You got your marching orders. Let's take all of these tickets straight to the pay window for my entire company. Damn it, do I love them all. DG, Soupy, Big Chuck, Marky Model, and of course, my man, producer man, always making the show look like $1 million. I'm the coach. This is Coach and Company, as always, on Stadium. Have a great weekend.